Hello, how's it? Welcome to another episode of the Big Liberty Show. This is part 2 of the Taxiland miniseries. I'm in Cape Town this time, and we're about to hit the streets, and specifically the taxi ranks here in Cape Town, to talk to all the individuals who essentially make a living from the taxi industry. Your taxi drivers, your gaichis as they're called here in Cape Town, but really the conductors, the guys who operate the door of a taxi, and the various entrepreneurs who, again, are associated with this industry. The vendors who work in taxi ranks, who provide the food and the various products, services and products that are needed, to, the informal mechanics who work in the sector. This is the conversation we're going to be having as we look at the importance of this 90 billion rand a year industry. Hey guys, Big Daddy Liberty coming to you from Cape Town Taxi Rank in the middle of Cape Town. This is the heart of the engine where all taxi drivers during the day mostly come and essentially rank. They rank during the day because it's off-peak. So the really busy times for taxi drivers is in the morning. A lot of these guys begin their day at 4 a.m., some even at 3 a.m. And during the day, when people are at work, others are at home, they'll essentially rank around here. So as you can see in the background, there's essentially probably hundreds of taxis in the entire rank, likely thousands in the entire city. And ordinary guys sitting, having lunch, some of them are sleeping because they begin really early in the day. And then when it's the afternoon rush hour, everybody's going to get in their taxis and get going again. So I've caught a group of them over here, and we're going to have a conversation with the lads. I'm going to switch to Zulu/Xhosa so that everybody can understand what I'm saying, and then I'll translate for you guys. So let me just come across this way. Sanibonani. Ngithema ngikhulume nani directly ngizwe kunina ukuthi yini reality yokubusa amatekisi. Bobhuti mangifake nje imic la emoto ngiqale kunina. Guys, ekseni niqala ngasikhathini ukusebenza?
Siqala ngo4.
Ngo4 izikhathi. Nilayisha abantu abayaphi? Imvamisa bayaphi abantu?
Abayi Cape Town. Nyanga to Cape Town.
So inyanga amatekisi la noma ahlukene.
Lower to Cape Town. Yeah.
And abantu enibalayishayo, who are they? Abantu abasebenzayo, abantu abafuna umsebenzi, ngikhulume nama passenger eni. Sibabuzi.
Kuba sifuna nje umuntu ozakhwela emotweni thina bhatale qha. Hayi no.
Sibabuzi bonke kaloku abantu. Yeah.
Abantu yaxoka nami.
No, yakhuluma. Thina ne umsebenzi wethu kuphangelisa abantu abaphangelayo. Like for instance, yabona ekseni, surely akho nami umuntu ebengavuka nje randomly aza betown for no reason. So ngabantu abaphangelayo abantu esibalayisha ekseni. Majority yabo ke nabo azenzele lezo businesses zabo. Manje umpangelo mosina le on the other hand. So ngabantu abaphangelayo abantu esibavusayo ekseni, esibaphangelisayo, and like angiboni banyani ke nyani khona nyani umuntu ongavuka ekseni nje for no reason azapha edolobheni. Hayi, abantu abaphangelayo.
Guys, mangibuze kumunye umbuzo ngoba mina siqale eThekwini senzo lohlelo sikhuluma nosomatekisi nakhona, and ila sibone khona ukuthi ama hours eniwasebenzayo made. So njengoba nihleli manje la erenkini ngizongena futhi emotweni zenu ngithatha abantu edolobheni bayisima emakubo, niqeda ngasikhathini ukusebenza kahle
Usebenza awu ixesha esiduka ngalo past 8 to 9.
9
Yeah.
Bobhuti abanye
unyanisile sigqiba ngo9 sebenze ya.
And then mangibuze cash up nenza njani? Ninika umnini wayo ngosuku noma nifake ebankini? How does that work now? Cash up.
Yeah, it differs on abuda wami, like i-owners zinohlobo eziprefer ba izinto senziwa ngakhona. Ezinye ziyasendelwa via ibank, ezinye you give them directly ezandleni. Yeah.
Okay, guys, campusing pattern nje ngibuza umbuzo wodwa ukugcina. I-reality yenu emgaqweni from amaphoyisa anjani? Do they support you guys kwi-industry noma banigxeka, or what's the reality yamaphoyisa?
Straight. Sorry, bona xa sinoza kwelicala lamaphoyisa lapha eKapa, more especially traffic, zisiphethe kakubi kakhulu. And when it comes the traffic cop iyakumisa, ayinalo la thuba lokubuza ba okay now kuyelo line ufuna ntoni apha, yabona. So inento ethi sub driver's license iyencwadi nibhala ticket, and uyawubona sometimes nobulincibile ibhanti iyalifakela nto zenu kwitikiti because of yona iyo and sinento esizityalayo ekuthiwa ziwarrant and then when it comes itraffic uzawuphikisana nayo and then kulapho itraffic izawuthi kuyo okay let me ndikujonga uba awunamatikiti maninzi na so that ndizokubamba uyabo so unexhala lokuthi ya okay le traffic lena mandivumele ndiyithethayo so that indibhale do endicinezela uyabo so that mayindibhale then ndizotsho ndisuke kuyo uyabo
yabona abafana i-traffics every time ubanjwa i-traffic endleleni soloko zi-angry for no reason. For instance lo muntu uyaqala umbona ngoku udibana naye ngo-3 emalanga khange ukudibana naye endleleni okay ubusenza into engekho right uhamba kulelo line xa ekubamba hayi le bomb inayisela le xa ekubamba la mfana ucaphukile for no reason. Like for instance if you are in office I believe that nakumelanga ube ngumuntu one-anger you should come to me undixelele ngomthetho undibhale ticket and the fine onikayo funeka ibe accurate nale offense bendiyenzile so abafana they will be angry like yabona indaba ye-safety belt you wear it or you do not wear it baza kubhala yona safety belt.
Guys, iyangikhathaza into eningitshela ngayo because ku social media izolo ngiyengabhali i-tweet ethi ngokubona kwami I think sometimes ku unfair the way also amatekisi are being treated ngoba nitreatwa ngathi nonke niyafana kanti anifani abanye bawulandela umthetho abanye abawulandeli masibe neqiniso but mangikhambe ngingena nje le moto enokugcina mangibuze kunina do you think angazi mangibuze openly as also amatekisi drivers do you talk to each other about ukulandela imigomo yomgaqo or the rules of the road do you have a conversation amongst yourselves
but wena bhuti wami it's difficult ukuthi sometimes singawulandela umgaqo wendlela it's very difficult because one you're not going to make target 2 ixesha liza kubetha 3 abantu balayishile emotweni bazaba late so you must ungawulandela umthetho umgaqo wendlela ngamanye amaxesha
and ngiyafuna sikhulume ngalonto ngoba abantu uma bekhuluma ngamatekisi they don't understand ukuthi nina pressures nani ipressure oqala cash up yosuku enye ama passenger themselves will say hey ngilate ndoda awenza into eyenzekayo
no on the other hand wena khona into elibala yabona there's a problem. There's a specific lane that we are built for, like a bus lane.
Yes.
On that lane, on a specific time from like 5 o'clock until 9, maybe I'm sort of. But I ain't you will see private cars. And it differs now. Tina same 17. It's like 17. A private car is in the road about 5, 7. So you don't see a reason to go to 100. You don't see a reason to go to 90. 40. So under that pressure, sipela serana too. The last lane, which is yellow lane, let's build there because it's balega la pressure yaba line. That's another reason why sipela siyo tona la yellow lane.
Guys, singing
any another federal fault the lines. There are supposed not be 2 or 3 lines on N2. It's supposed to be 4. N2 is very small. Look at the cars in Cape Town. There are a lot of vehicles in Cape Town. So that is very, very small. Another problem we had. If at least the taxis and the buses have got 2 lanes, then it will be better. But focusing on 3 lanes, the other 2 lanes, it's for the private and other cars. And then the only 1 bus for the taxis and the buses, then they won't be coping.
Yes, wavula ipoint lokugcina bengifuna ukunibuza ngalo ukuthi ngabe uma nibheka uhulumeni nezinhlelo zahulumeni ufuna ukhipha abo BRT nabo bla 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 ngabe bani consult nina as osomatekisi but guys yini nifunayo nina uvula indaba yama lane for example do they consult you about issues of lanes for example
each and every law that is implemented here in Western Cape there's nothing that is coming to us to say okay we're going to change this and this and this and that no one is briefing us we just see it happens so that is the problem we had. Even if they want to change the structure, the way things are happening, they just do it without consulting us.
And we problem like
you know what triggers mostly anger you see as young as I am driver my takes there's a reason why I'm here and surely this job that I'm doing I go kumosha yabo I go amugroup abantu I go cleaning driver's takes so look at this now I get tickets, I get warrants, I get arrested. My bail is 19,000. The previous bail I had was 9,000 rand. ne fumani bail in 16,000 rand. It's impossible to pay 16,000 ukuba le moto.
That's right.
Ne, the next thing I get arrested ngiyabuya ndohlala pause me pause man fika pha ngihlala ne medals abantu ababulela abantu abayi 16 12 abantu abane serious stories. Mna the only reason I'm there is because being drive takes. So the next thing man phuma pha ngizophuma nginala trauma must be okay sure ne mna vele ndiyayazi ijele njani. I am telling you even now I have like 52 warrants now currently now 52 warrants. They aim to 70 to 60,000. If I get arrested, me rule, so I'm feeling the right to be a You see now, that's where we start like wrong. Because I can never go to prison for I've never did any offense like to any person or harm in anything. Yellow line and being arrested and staying with criminals, you will never be okay from them. So
guys, iyangikhathaza lento and mangivala phela angifuni isikhathi too much. Iyangikhathaza lento because inhlangano engisebenza nayo sikhuluma ngayo lolu daba ukuthi sometimes the enforcement is unfair and the way also amatekisi are being treated unfair ngoba anibona abantu abahola imali engathi ephezulu. But also just as a final question, the issue ye law yokulandela imithetho and law enforcement is a big one ngoba abantu babona ngathi uma nishayela kabi emgaqweni nenze ngoba nenza ngamayibomu. It can't be, I don't know, I'll let you answer the question. When you drive badly on the road, are you doing it because you want to do it or because ngifuna ngitshela ngala ma pressures benikhuluma ngawo? What is the target yakho per day?
No, the target jam per day it's 1,200. That's 1,200. So it's not easy. You can't make 1,200 if you follow the law and you drive after the pass. No, you can't make it.
Mangaka maloto ufana uwenze uzufake lo target.
It's 5 or 6.
Wow. Okay.
You see, so you can't make it.
And then low 1,200 upetrol uthelo bani wena driver noma own. Okay.
It's included on that one.
Guys, no. Yes, in the industry ngiyayibona ukuthi ayilula. It's not easy. Happening Vala as a final question ngampela. What can government do? Ngokubona kweni, just in your own view. What can government do to make your life as a taxi driver much easier?
One, sicela reduce ama ticket. And there's a province a high ama ticket. It's Cape Town. One, sicela reduce ama ticket. Two, asizifuni warrants. Mangasibopheleli warrants lento zen endleleni. Nobuya sibopheli warrants endleleni, but when it comes a prison, mangasihlalisi namabanjwa. Yeah. So three, if traffic officer iyakumisa mayiku understand as umsebenzi nawo mayikuthathe like yona mayingakuthathi as a criminal when you driving a taxi, because some of the taxi drivers traffic officers they take us as criminals if you are driving in a road.
No,
yeah.
But this volunteer, what can government do to make impilo yenu as also a little bit easier or to regulate better? What do you think should be done?
No, when government should be realistic. Like for instance, if fines is for mana a day or if fines is for mana by offenses we make, like they are in the Disney world. Like but you can never be fined for 7,000 a day, and they expect you to pay that after two. Yeah, that they do that. You even get more from that. From driving on yellow lane, it's 1.5. From not wearing your safety belt, it's 500 rand. And there are other offenses. We do not even make EPDPs because as far as Zenza, we have warrants, we have those fines and tickets. Government should be realistic. They must come with an alternative. Because we cannot handle or can you bear the fact that if
I want to ask you on the side, just now. There might be some people who are watching who then say, but no, hang on. These people are basically saying they want to break the law without any repercussions. Is that the case?
No, it's not the case. I'm saying the government should be realistic in this way. At least if there are punishments for us like offending the law, they should be realistic. Like those amounts, they are huge. We do not pay them, we get arrested. That's what's happening now. And if they are not earning anything, we are just getting arrested, and yet our families back home are left empty and they are hungry. So at least there's no life in that. It's not in order. So at least magazine alternative. There are a lot of things to keep everything in line. There are a lot of things, but if you're in a low way to specifically up in Cape Town, and mna bhuti wami yena nto ndiyirhala kakhulu mna ugovernment lapha noyenza and I think undlela lula kukuba angake umsebenzi lo we-learners ungangenziwa kwi-driving schools kuphela ayivi nasesikolweni ungafakwa ibe yinto enothi yenziwe from esikolweni i-driver i-learners ayifunde from esikolweni umntu i-learners because enye into esenza sibe kwezingxaki ezingaka ngabantu asibalayishayo because umthetho wendlela bawazi aba bantu sibalayishayo only nguwe wena mntu une-license owazi umuntu eyasendleleni so that laa mntu kunika i-pressure because akaziniksi ngalaa nto akukhomba kuyo yayibo so that if bake ifakelwe even nasesikolweni ingabi into i-learners onoyiyela kwi-driving schools
But ngiyabonga kakhulu and mangibonge kunena nonke for isikhathi senu guys ngiyabonga guys you've heard it again you've heard it directly from the people who work in this industry, not the people on Twitter, not the people on Facebook, actual people who work in this industry, about the realities of being a taxi driver. It's not all fun and games. It's a very hard job. I mean, you heard the guy say that, you know, some of them are on the road as early as 3:30 in the morning, and, you know, up until 9 in the evening. Something must give, and I think our report as the Institute of Race Relations in terms of how we can address some of the issues that are faced by people in this industry will go a long way in giving them the freedom they need to operate. Hey guys, another important facet to the taxi industry is how it supports other entrepreneurs, you know, people who come to taxi ranks and work in and around taxi ranks selling goods and wear. You know, it's usually food that they're selling and other stuff, as you can see in the far distance. I'm going to walk over to one of the guys who's selling food just to have a chat with him. Hello sir, how are you doing? Excellent. So you're clearly selling some food items here and you're working just across the road, just next to a taxi rank. Is that important for you? Do you see more do you see more customers come to you because of the taxis?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I see the more customers because of the taxi, because most of guys is going to the waterfront from here.
Yeah.
That's why I get the more customers better than other places.
Yeah. We're talking to street vendors, people who work in and around taxi ranks. There's a taxi stop/rank right next to us here. Tell me about your decision making as an entrepreneur. Did you purposefully choose to work next to a rank?
Not purposefully, but in the end, because of the taxi coming and stopping here and making it a stop, it actually creates business.
Perfect.
So it works two ways, or it can work three ways as well. So it's also creating less of a crime, because where people are getting out alone in a taxi, there's absolutely no one else. There's vendors over here, so people can feel safe when they also when they're walking here and this walkway. So there's lots of benefits if you look at it, or if you really look at it. So,
Now, Faisal, how long have you been an entrepreneur selling and trading?
Oh my goodness, it's been quite a while. For the last 8 years, I think. So it's been quite a while. Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a weird question. It's not really weird, but like you guide me. Do you see a marked increase in the number of maybe foot traffic because of taxis? Do they keep people longer in a certain area? Like, how would you describe the symbiotic relationship, so to speak, between you guys and the taxi owners?
Oh, well, I don't think they would keep the amount of feet longer. I think it moves off quicker, because for them it's to fill up and go.
Got it.
And then come back and fill up and go. So when people come here, they know that they just going to get what they need, and then they're going to have to get in there and they're going, because that's the service.
Faisal, thank you so much for your time. That's literally what I needed from you. But I also just want to check out some of the wares that we're talking about here. If Mbali can just swing around, you know, anything and everything you need. I mean, you literally hop off a taxi, and if you need I don't know, like anything and everything, you can see it right here. We were at the major taxi rank just at the top there, and there were complaints by the taxi drivers, funny enough, who were saying, you know, some of the vendors are being harassed by law enforcement in particular. Do you experience something like that? Do you have to go through government in order to sell, or what's the sort of reality around that?
Well, the reality around that is everything that happens, especially in the city, you have to comply with the government. So there is rules and regulations regarding things. So if it's not abided by, then it's going to be a circus. So, I mean, if you look at it, it's not as neat now anymore, because it's late in the day. But if you come in the morning, it's nice and neat. Everyone's got their little stand, they've got their place and everything. So Yeah, so where people are complaining that then they shouldn't be moving those little vendors and stuff like that, it's possible that they don't have a proper spot.
Yeah.
So they have to do their job.
So I was about to say that the city allocates spaces to vendors like you.
Yeah, they allocate space and you get a certain amount of space. You stand within the yellow lines and all of those things. So yeah, so there's over enough space that's provided for you, or enough space. If you want more, you can do an application for that.
Awesome. All right. Had to hear from you as opposed to assuming from our side. So there essentially is regulation, it is policed, so to speak, and the like. Okay, cool. I mean, again, you heard it from Faisal. And again, we're not opposed to that. We've been making the argument that there should be regulation, including regulation, by the way, if you turn to this way, for the actual taxi drivers themselves. You know, like, is this even an official taxi rank? Who knows? Let's actually move over to them and have a conversation and find out how this taxi rank came to be. I'm standing next to Chad, and Chad, you know, is a guy who washes taxis. So as they come in and out of the rank, a makeshift rank, you know, drivers obviously pay Chad to make their taxis look good. Chad, let's have a quick chat. How long have you been doing this work, and have you been struggling to find any other work?
Yes, I have been struggling to find another job. It's very hard finding a job nowadays in Cape Town, especially with the unemployment rate, you understand?
Yeah.
So, the guys here at the taxi, I've been doing this on and off for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's like 50 rand for a taxi, you understand?
And obviously, you know, not to get into your personal private affairs, but I take it you're able to make a living, small or large, off of this work?
Yes, definitely.
All right, Chad, you see, people like you actually inspire me because, you know, we live in a time where a lot of people look to government for everything, and sometimes opportunities right in front of you. What made you spot this as an opportunity to make a bit of money as you're looking for work?
No, my brother works here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes I help out with him as well. So he told me that I should start a car wash business here.
Yeah.
And it just grew from there. And now
Awesome.
I wash like 10 taxis a day.
Awesome. Chad, thank you so much for your time. We're going to keep the conversation going and moving. I really appreciate your time, and good luck, man. All the best. Again, that's the conversation we're having. The various entrepreneurs who make a living off of taxis. Taxis are not a burden on society. They're not a scourge that needs to be eliminated, because they're literally providing jobs to people like Chad. They're literally providing employment and opportunities to people who sell on the side of the road. So should there be taxis in society? Absolutely, we need them. I'm joined here by, who am I talking to?
Zaid.
Zain, sorry. Zain, talk to me. How long have you been a taxi driver? Is this a way in which you are putting food on the table?
I've been driving more than 5 years, 6 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm putting food on my table.
Yeah. Zain, we've been having a conversation with other taxi drivers, especially the more closer speaking ones, just on top of that, from Nyanga, and they made mention of just the difficulty of operating in Cape Town and perhaps even other parts of the country with law enforcement bearing down on you guys. Do you think law enforcement gives you guys a fair shake?
I actually don't think they're being fair, honestly, because, I mean, if you drive on the road, you can see various cars, people sitting with cell phones.
Yeah.
But the moment a taxi driver does something, because you're a taxi driver, you get pulled over, you get fined 1,500, 2,000 rand.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's unfair.
Yeah. I mean, some of the other guys were making mention of the fact that they're sitting with, 20, 30, 40,000 rands worth of fines, essentially, for things like driving on the yellow lane, and et cetera, et cetera. The question I want to ask you, because I'm sure a viewer watching will go, but hang on, you guys are taxi guys, you drive rough on the road anyway, but I want to take the viewer inside the mind of a taxi driver. Why do you drive like that? Is it because you have other pressures that we don't see as ordinary people?
At the end of the day, all of us have pressure. We have a target to drive, number one.
Yeah.
And number two is, some of us, for me, for example, I will only drive like that if I see that you're busy with other things, cell phones, and you're busy with. But other than that, I drive normal every day.
Yeah.
I don't drive on this. Most of the time, I will drive on the bus line if I have to.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't drive reckless, or I'm not a fighting person or a thug.
Right.
I won't get out of my taxi and shout, "Yeah, fuck you," blah blah blah.
Right.
That's things I won't do.
Maybe two last questions as we close it up. Talk to me about your target. What do you need to produce at the end of every day in order to meet your bosses or your expectations?
For November and December, my target went up
So I would say.
So it's seasonal. It changes.
Season,
yeah.
So it's basically mine is now 1,200 per day.
You need to make 1,200 rand at the end of the day. How many loads do you need to make to meet that target?
We probably have to drive about 15 loads in the morning just to get to that point. 10 loads give you 750.
Right.
So I will just, if you say 10 loads, I would say another 5 loads give me about 1-2, yeah.
Wow, okay. I don't think a lot of people watching the show know something like that. And I think it kind of explains the pressure you guys are under. Maybe as that final question I alluded to, I'm from an organization that put together a report that essentially supports the industry and makes recommendations for how we can make it better. Because yes, there is lawlessness, there is some elements of that. But surely, instead of some people saying, no, let's ban the whole industry, you can work with it. What are some of the suggestions you would think government should put in place in order to make things easier for you guys?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Just practical everyday stuff.
But, like everyday things, the rules you give to buses and other transport means, give it to us as well. Absolutely. I mean, maybe it will change. Maybe our mindset will change. My van is
Sure. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate that. But that particular element about the pressures that they're under maybe explains a lot of the bad driving, a lot of the bad behavior that you see, because we don't see that as ordinary consumers on a day-to-day basis. Now, I'm not excusing the bad behavior, and I don't think he was excusing it either necessarily, but I think there are real-world pressures that taxi drivers face that we need to be mindful of. Another chat with another taxi driver. I have Mikhail in the taxi. He's probably going to move, so I'm going to be very quick. Mikhail, the reality is... Okay, we're going to move with Mikhail. It's fine. Mikhail, you can go forward. As Mikhail is moving forward, we're just going to keep that conversation going with him.
You see, why they getting the fines? They're driving cock.
There you have the rank marshal. Getting that solid opinion out. We'll probably hopefully get to talk to him too. Mikhail?
Just go.
Mikhail, tell me about the industry. How long have you been driving taxis?
I've been driving taxi for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the pressures of it. What time do you get up in the morning? What time do you put it away in the evenings?
I get up about 5 o'clock, say 4 o'clock in the morning to get my first load, and then I leave about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But
10 o'clock in the evening?
In the evening, yeah. Because I'm money hungry, man, so...
Dog, I hear you on that. Tell me about your daily target. Are you working for someone at the moment, or is this your vehicle?
No, it's my vehicle.
What is your daily target that you're trying to reach?
My daily target, basically, look, what I make for the day is what I put on the table. You know what I mean? So, which means if I'm going to drive 5 to 4,000, or depending on what it is, I'm going to put it on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Mikhail, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Keep well. Again, ordinary guys, ordinary taxi drivers, people who are family people. That's the conversation we're having. You're the marshal, you're the guy who basically controls, you bring order basically to the system.
Yes.
What do you have in your hand here? Is this like a checklist?
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a checklist.
Yeah.
So I see you just saw a taxi go by and you marked it now. How many taxis are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's only 20 taxis I have here. And all of them is driving poes. And yeah, really, I'm talking now straight Afrikaans now.
Say in Afrikaans is alright.
Right, right, poes so. For a 75 rand, they can kill you here.
En waar gaan hierdie taxis?
Hulle gaan Waterfront toe.
Waterfront toe. En een full load, hoeveel geld is dit? 75 rand.
Ja, sê.
En meneer se werk, is hy deel van die association of hoe werk meneer?
Ek is deel van die association al die jare. Ek werk nou vir PTA nou omtrent so. Ek gaan nou
PTA is wat is dit die vol naam?
Taxi Association.
O ja.
Right. Ek werk nou van boer. Het ek 7 en die werk ek 5 jaar. 12 jaar nou daar vir PTA.
Okay.
Maar ek my company ons het die pirate weer hier nie.
Ja, ja.
Daai is 'n ding wat ook doen nie. En ek soek die drivers wat die unlicensed is. Ek soek vir hulle hier nie.
En is dit meneer se
salaris? Ja, ek kry hier van die drivers af. Daai is my ding.
Okay. Meneer, baie dankie vir die geleentheid. Geniet die dag asseblief.
Ja, sê ja.
Dankie meneer. So there you have it, guys. We've spoken to I think, a veritable mix of people who work in this industry and make a living from it, both in terms of being employees of taxi owners and being entrepreneurs who work in and around it. You know, I've put the questions to them that actually, you know, what do we do to improve the services, to improve the sector, to modernize it? And equally, I've asked them the tougher questions. You know, you guys are accused of bad behavior on the roads. What are the causes of that? I wanted you to be in the picture as to that they don't do this because they want to, that is bad behavior, bad driving, etc., etc. There's pressures that they're under. I'm not excusing them, because I know people went absolutely ape nuts when I said this online, but I'm not excusing. The point I'm making is I want you to understand the pressures that they're dealing with, but there are ways in which we can improve their working conditions, improve their behavior, law enforcement, protection of property rights, recognizing their systems, like you saw with the rank marshal. These are things that will go a long way to improving the taxi industry. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This part 2 of Taxiland, the mini-series. Part 3, we're going to have a conversation with Ivo Vegter, who put together that report by the Institute of Race Relations, which sets out the history, how they operate, and of course what we can do to improve taxis in this country. You're watching The Big Liberty Show.